All right. End of week. Must be week 6. Um, we finally feel like we might have made a tiny bit of progress with our person. Um, Small, really small. Um, when we went to visit him this time, again, I played guitar and really seemed to connect with that a bit more. So he was in a much more cooperative mood than he has been in the last little while. So that was really nice to just kind of have some time with him where we weren't always worried about him sort of, you know, telling us to bugger off. Um, we also brought uh, different sort of balls with different textures. So we had a tennis ball, a baseball, one of those spiky, quite heavy therapy balls. My partner brought a small hand tambourine, and some Play-Doh. So we figured we had this nice wide range of different sensory sort of things, tactile sort of stuff that he might focus on and start to try and like maybe differentiate between. Um, he responded quite well to the ball, to the different ones, but um, it was still that same sort of repeated pattern of picking them up, putting them down, picking them up, putting them down, or rolling them away. And then when we rolled it back to him, he'd stop it, and then he'd roll it away, and then we'd roll it back, and he'd stop it. He occasionally responded to us when we sort of said, do you want to throw it, push it, catch it, and he would sort of do it. We also sort of think his vision might be being impacted on by something. He seems, if you hold something out to him, he reaches out and he misses it completely. But you can tell that he can see it and wants it, but he'll bypass it. And so you'll hold it there for a bit, and he'll bypass it, and then you'll sort of reach until he's got it. So I think that might have something to do with his sort of frustrations in the activities we have been trying with him. It would certainly explain, his sort of he's not so quick to engage, so that would explain a few things. Should probably have mentioned that to the staff. I didn't even think to do that, but I might. I'm sure they've probably noticed. So for the end of week 6, we were sort of looking at the concept of home, and then the concept of like sort of group homes and what makes them feel homey and comforting, as opposed to sort of a clinical, sort of barren, loveless place. So looking at our person's room, we immediately sort of got an idea of the kinds of things that bring him, some kind of comfort, or just sort of that he enjoys to looking at and things. I found his room. I think I mentioned in one of my last blogs. His bed is in the center of the room, and I mean in the dead center. So it's not leaning up against the wall or anything. It's up very high, and it's just a single. So it is strange to me that is where he sleeps, unless they move the bed when he goes to sleep. It just seems like a weird, not weird, I shouldn't say weird, it just seems like a like out of place almost. Like, I don't know, if I think about, my home and other homes, most of my ideas would be that you either sort of have the bed up in the corner where you get that cozy feeling, or, up against the wall in the center, or just, making it not making it like the midpoint. It was just, I'm not sure about. Around the rest of his room, lots of sort of bit of artwork, I guess, like beachy, Hawaii kind of related stuff. A lot of Elvis stuff. He had the Elvis CDs and a CD player and a TV and stuff. So I couldn't stop doing these blogs at night. He obviously has these interests and stuff that sort of maybe he can focus on, or that he enjoys. I'm not sure. So looking at his room, while it feels somewhat clinical, maybe given his dementia and stuff, something that's quite simple but very clear is best for sort of him, and bringing him some level of comfort. The rest of the home though is like fairly it's fairly open. The bathroom, of course, looks much more like a hospital bathroom than a bathroom at home. It's very, shower chair and the detachable hose head and whatnot. Looks much more clinical than you'd probably like. Um, the other thing too is the people that are in his home. Obviously, he didn't have a choice, sort of, in who lives there. So, I'm wondering, you know, a bit like me moving in with two strangers and then finding out that I don't actually like them, that we have nothing in common, or we're incompatible housemates. Um, how I have a lot more freedom in sort of choosing who, whether I want to move out or whether I want to ask them to move out or whether I want to sort of talk to them and sort of figure out our differences. I have a lot more freedom to do that than our individual does, because he finds himself in this home with these other people who've all just kind of been put there, So I find it a bit limiting, like not like he doesn't have quite as much freedom as perhaps he should. Um, the other thing that I'm feeling kind of bad about is that, like, he doesn't seem to have any sort of social roles um, at all. I'm just now recalling when we first got the little sort of piece of paper about our person and the sort of profile, I guess, if you will, on our person. It basically just told us that he really, really enjoys picking up magazines and playing with magazines, just having them in his hand. And one of the staff has suggested a sort of form of um, something to do within the home or within the community or whatever, is paper shredding. And I thought about that recently because we were trying to think of things that he could sort of do that would, no matter how small, sort of add some meaning to his day, because it truly seems currently that there's not much. And it's not from lack of trying, it seems to be from just his inability to engage. And I think he's got the motivation. You can tell that he still gets joy and still gets enjoyment from the interactions that he has with us, but I think he just doesn't have such limited capacity now to sort of engage in these things. So I'm just not sure how we're going to go from that. And again, I'm feeling super behind and like we're not doing good work, because it feels like no matter what we try, his sort of his it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. It's disheartening, because you want to get in there and you want to help and you want to improve and you want to intervene and you want to add this and change this and stuff, but you just can't. And that's not what we're there for, and that's not our role. So while I'm feeling the pressure from the carers to sort of find something for him to do, I'm also needing to be realistic about what we're there for, and that's not it. It's just not it. It's just not our job. So I am finding the only thing I'm finding really beneficial from this is that he seems to get enjoyment from our interaction with him, and provided he's not sort of in a bad mood or in sort of a blood sugar slump or something like that prevents him from engaging with us, because sometimes he'll just fall asleep and there's nothing we can do. We just have to leave. So as long as he's in good sort of sound frame of mind, he is delightful to interact with. He gets enjoyment from the activities that we sort of give him, even if it is momentary. And then playing the guitar for him really seems like the only thing that's for sure gotten through to him and that he for sure enjoys. So I'm going to keep doing that, and yeah, I just hope that that's enough. And if we never get a breakthrough, then we never get a breakthrough. But I'm feeling a bit better in terms of of what we're actually offering him and what he's actually getting out of our sessions. So we'll see.